Yeah, and, you know, a very different version of zombies, I think, was the one in World War Z, which is going to be a little hypocritical because I know that was a movie first, but I didn't really watch the movie, I just played the game.
The games were great.
And I remember playing that game. I don't know if anyone would ever be interested in seeing it here, but the zombies really flood the screen, and there's so many of them, and they build on top of each other to climb stuff.
And they are pretty scary.
Yeah, it's kind of terrifying because they can run. I feel like they made a very good, threatening
They're
zombie.
not called zombies in that game, though. They're called Zeeks.
Are they actually?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, they're called Zeeks for some reason. I don't know why.
I thought
It's like I think they were just trying to be special.
Well, that's something like The Walking Dead where I always thought it was silly, where it's like, we got a crawler, or like...
We got a walker.
We got a waddler here.
Yeah, and they could just call it zombie.
We got a limper.
That's something people make fun of online. Is like...
They should. It's silly.
New zombie show comes out, they have to call it anything but a zombie.
It's true. It's 100% true. They never want to say zombie.
No, they don't. I don't know why.
I don't know. I think because they want to be unique. A zombie game you'd really like, though, Joe, have you ever heard of... What is it called? State of... No, not State of Survival. State of Decay.
State of Decay. Oh, I think I've heard of that.
It's very cool. I love the first one. However, it's very much a difficult game because it has permadeath with characters, so if your character dies, they're just gone.
Oh.
And then you have to play as a new one.
You have to, like, create a new character?
There's a set amount of characters, I think, in the first State of Decay. I don't know about State of Decay 2. I didn't get to play it. But I'd like to play those games again eventually. They were Xbox exclusives, actually, for a while.
Yeah, we should look at that.
And State of Decay 1, I just remember having a very fun time with. It had very clunky controls, but it was super fun.
One game that I thought was really interesting that had permadeath was
That was terrible looking. Did you see that?
Was that Darkest Dungeon game? Remember how like your character would die and then you'd move like to play as his son?
Yeah, that was super cool.
The only thing that was like kind of dumb about it was like you never saw your character get married or have a child, so you were like, where the fuck did this son come from?
Yeah.
But
yeah, that's true. But it was still very cool.
It was very cool. I loved that game. It was just so hard, but I would have liked to play more of it with you at some point.
I'd like to too. There's a lot of games like that I go back and forth between would I want to play this on the channel, would I just want to play it ourselves, you know?
That one was extremely difficult, remember though?
Yeah, that one was tough. Oh, look at this. You want to see kind of what they turn into.
Oh, they were creepier in the original.
A little bit, yeah. You could see a little more.
Oh, I liked the original better for that.
Really, for the Flood?
Yeah.
I do. I like both, although it's easier to see how mutated they were in the original. Do you see how it almost busts the Elite's head out the side?
Yeah.
Whereas in this, it's a little harder to actually see that his head is on the side.
Yeah, I think the original did a better job with that.
I think so too. However, adding the detail, I think, was done to line it up more with Halo 3.
Not Halo 3. Electric Halo Lee.
Halo 3 had come out a while before this, and it was kind of the end of an era for Halo.
So are we going to learn more about these Flood guys, by the way?
Yes.
So basically all we know right now is they're a parasite and we randomly found them on the Halo. So I'm going to infer a couple things here. I'm going to infer that they are somehow, like, some sort of native species to the Halo. Like, that people maybe didn't know about, and possibly are here to protect the Halo from something.
No, but close.
That was my inference.
Right, yeah, you're close. I mean, if you want to know a little bit more, you remember how Guilty Spark kept talking about how there were things on the Halo that he needed to protect?
Uh-huh.
The Flood samples were one of them.
Oh.
The Flood are not supposed to leave Halo.
Oh.
And so we'll get into more about that.
Were they, like, do you think they were in some sort of, like, test tube or something, and then they got out?
Well, the Forerunners who built the Halos, without getting too deep into the lore here, they were very careful to preserve different forms of life, even this kind, that necessarily isn't great for everything. You know what I mean? They were like physical media preservationists.
Even if the physical media was absolute ass?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
They still believed that the life could be studied. And I don't want to say more than that, but I do know that...
But then they had a Wuhan, China situation where the COVID got out of the test tube, right?
That seems to be what happened here with the humans letting them out, doesn't it?
It does kind of seem
and
like that.
Now there's a terminal. I had to look up where this was. I did not remember this one at all.
Construction of a sarcophagus around the unexplained vessel was completed. No occupants ever exited. No attempts to communicate were made, other than the automated broadcast that repeated every 72.83 seconds until the signal terminated 1 week ago. In accordance with procedure, no attempts at physical or remote contact were made with any survivors of this vessel's inelegant landing. Atmosphere from inside the craft stopped venting 2 weeks before the signal ceased. No relationship between these two events can be established with certainty. Gases that did escape were sterilized. No further sign of alien visitors or rescuers has been identified on any sensor systems. I have now endured 60,000 years without word from outside the array. I have no way to know whether we actually saved the galaxy we destroyed. And because of protocol, I sat silently while my first chance to be judged for those acts died. To say that I regret being forced to this outcome is a tremendous understatement. But as I perform my inspection of the quarantine labs today, I am reminded of the gravity of my responsibilities. Just one of these spores, if released from this facility, would render the ultimate judgment against our self-appointed role as protectors of this galaxy. When the plan to maintain the Halo array was created, it was a point of some contention whether we should preserve any remnant of the flood infection. Many thought this unwise, as there was a notable chance that one day one of our containment facilities might be breached. Those who held this belief were almost successful at convincing the Ecumen Council to destroy the last blood samples. But oddly enough, it was the librarian who decided otherwise. And I believe she was correct. I know in a way I cannot logically explain that there exists a way to actually defeat the flood. To immunize? To cure? I still struggle with multiple layers of memory of fighting the flood. But I know this cure is possible, even though the full genius of the Forerunners was unable to achieve it. The Forerunners' ancient enemy held and used that knowledge once, but it was denied to us. And without samples for further study, that cure will never again be found. Of course, I have no reason to believe that here lies the entirety of the parasite. It may be waiting in the frozen void beyond this galaxy, or worse, inexorably drifting toward us. I don't know what survives out beyond my installation, but I know that in order for anything to survive, I have to protect this installation and its quarantine very carefully. Yes, the librarian was right to store it, examine it, continue to seek a cure. Still, next visitor, things will be different.
See, he built like a sarcophagus tomb around the ship that had crashed there as kind of a memoriam for it.
Yeah.
Because he didn't make contact with that ship because basically the Forerunners had given him orders to not make contact with these beings and stuff. Mm-hmm. And that was about 4,000 years before the events of what we're seeing now. Mm-hmm. And he changed his mind after that because he missed his opportunity to speak to other beings and he's lonely. Mm-hmm. And anyway, now you can kind of see that one of the purposes of this installation was also to study the flood. Mm-hmm. The flood had existed before this. You see how they called it the Forerunner's enemy?
So was Guilty Spark studying it, or?
Yes.
So how come Guilty Spark hasn't come up with a cure yet?
Chief, is that you? I lost your signal when you disappeared inside the structure. What's going on down there? I'm tracking movement all over the place.
Sir, thank God you're here. We've been lost out here for hours. After we lost contact with the rest of the mission, we headed for the RV point, and then these things, they ambushed us. We got to get out of here.
There's a large tower a few hundred meters from your current position. Find a way above the fog and foliage canopy, and I can move in and pick you up.
Is that one Marine that was down there? Did he come with, or is he just still down there?
I think he's just still down there. I think he's just too messed up.
That sucks.
And in terms
I kind of think we should put him out of his misery.
Well, I didn't want to kill a random human guy. But in terms of how hasn't he found the cure yet, I don't know. I mean, he said at one point there was some kind of cure, but the Forerunners could never find it. And so we're kind of just stuck with who knows what it is.
And then he accidentally didn't quarantine the thing enough, and now they all got out.
But he did quarantine the thing. The humans let them out.
Why did the humans let it out?
Because they believed that Halo was a weapon that they could use against the Covenant in the war.
So
the humans, like Keyes argued, you have to open that door. Remember that door that they were opening that the Covenant locked down? The Covenant accidentally let these things out first, and then the humans basically let them out again when the Covenant locked them away.
So the Covenant was able to keep it at bay and get rid of them for the most part and knew what the deal was.
The Covenant did not know what the deal was until they opened the door.
Yeah, but then they came out and they were like, oh fuck. And then they got him back in somehow, and then they were like, never touch that door again.
Yeah, lock it off.
And then the humans stupidly were like, ooh, door.
Yes. Are you kind of understanding the story here?
Yeah, it was Sergeant Johnson's fault.
Well, it's not necessarily...
It was all his fault?
Oh, yeah, Johnson did it.
Okay.
Didn't Keyes give the order?
It was all Johnson's fault because...
Yeah, Johnson did it, yeah.
Yeah, because he
You're
did
right.
it, yeah.
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 I like the idea that Keyes writes that down. He's like an old school Southern racist. He's like, no, it was Johnson. Johnson made me do it. I can't be held responsible.
I like the idea that they're searching for some special weapon, and instead they just let out a thing that actually just decimates humanity.
It easily could, couldn't it?
This is why they need to be more careful before they go opening random doors.
I agree.
Also, why was the flood only locked behind one door? Like, I feel like it should have been locked behind, like, multiple safety measures.
So it was locked behind that door, and then also there was that containment unit that the spore was in. The Covenant broke that open.
Okay.
Either the Covenant broke it open or the humans broke it open when they went in, but it seems the Covenant broke it open because...
First, yeah.
Yeah, because they got attacked, and we found the dead Covenant already there.
So, how come Guilty Spark isn't here to be like, hey, don't touch that?
I don't know where Guilty Spark is right now. We will find out more about that in a bit, but it is odd that he wasn't able to stop them from opening it.
Yeah, because he's supposed to protect it, he said.
He is also just a monitor. He doesn't have the level of weapons that the Covenant have. They could have just blown him up if they wanted.
I suppose, but I feel like they probably would have listened to him if he was like, this is a fungus that will fuck you up.
True, yeah, I don't know.
Or a parasite or whatever the fuck it is. I don't know.
Do you hear that?
Yeah, what was that?
Humming.
Humming?
Oh, more are coming.
Did the flood hum?
No, look, there's things eliminating the flood.
Oh.
See these?
Oh. Okay.
Machines are destroying the flood now.
Do you think they were programmed by Guilty Spark?
I think we're gonna find out in a minute.
Great.
Greetings. I am the monitor of Installation 04. I am 343 Guilty Spark. Someone has released the flood. My function is to prevent it from leaving this installation, but I require your assistance. Come, this way.
He's just teleporting us.
Well, alright then, okay.
Chief, I've lost your signal. Where'd you go? Chief! Chief!
So did you see why I asked about zombies and stuff like that?
I do.
I thought it would just be a really interesting conversation topic because it's such a core part of that level is the flood. And this is a major faction that will play a role in the entire Halo trilogy.
Really?
The original 1 through 3.
Okay.
So they do matter a lot. And when you said, oh, it's just the humans versus the Covenant, how interesting can that war be? It is an interesting war, but I think there's a lot more to it than just the humans versus the Covenant when you add in the flood and other stuff going on with the Forerunners. You know, there's a lot of lore levels to the universe.
I'm gonna be real with you. I think that the flood made the story 20,000 times more interesting to me.
It is very interesting. I love the flood. I think they're a very, well, love is a strong word, but I think they're a very interesting
Well, I
action.
think it took it from just a Call of Duty type game to like a horror type game, and I really enjoy that kind of thing.
This is one of the most controversial levels in the game, by the way. The library.
Is it because Master Chief says the N-word?
Well, you're not supposed to know that yet. Who spoiled that for you?
Twitter.
Master Chief finally reveals his true feelings on Sergeant Johnson.
And then does he get fired from my job that I work at?
No.
Oh, okay.
Like that person who said that? No. Hey, so I think it's one of the reasons why this is one of the most controversial levels is because there is just a ton of enemies. Also, I feel like I might have this too loud. It's a little loud for me.
Oh, I don't think it's too loud. Maybe you should just deal with it.
Are you being serious? It's actually not too loud
No,
for you?
you can turn it down.
It's very loud for
I
me.
was just joking.
Okay. So obviously the Flood are not just standard cut and dry zombies. They're very different, and these are not.
Well, we did talk about that they might be a parasite fungus type thing.
They are a living being with intelligence. But anyway.
So are fungi.
Are they?
Sometimes. I don't
With
know.
intelligence?
I don't know. I was just making a joke. I don't know. I'm not a scientist.
The reason this is considered a frustrating level is because of how many enemies there are.
Well, good thing you're playing as Master Queef, so you can't die.
I can die, and I'm about to because I'm not used to playing.
I can and I will.
And I'm going to prove to you that I can lose. I don't really know what I'm saying.
Seems like it's a little easier to see them on the other screen because it's like they light up the dark room.
So one reason I'm switching too is because this is also a really controversial level with Anniversary because people say that they feel that it is dark and gloomy and depressing and scary in the original graphics and too bright in the new ones.
Yeah, I feel like the original graphics made it feel more like Dead Space.
I think it just dark translates better to horror.
I completely
The
agree.
field of province contains the index. We must get up there.
Alright, so we have to find a way up. I didn't get to finish my... We can come back in now.
Okay.
I didn't get to finish my zombies topic last time because you kept asking me 100 questions about the Flood, which was...
I have a lot of things to say.
Even though there's spoilers for like Halo 2, Halo 3, multiple novels, and you're like, just tell me the ending right now. What happens to the Flood?
Well,
I've never understood that about you with stories. It's like you want to know the very end of the last chapter before you experience the story.
I don't though. I just want
It
to
kind of feels like it.
I just want to know what information you can offer up to me without spoiling it. That's just what I want to do.
Well, if it helps you at all, this is the first game. The lore was very fast and loose at this point. There was no information.
Okay.
This is just, these guys are scary zombie guys at the time.
Oh,
You
okay.
weren't expected to go in knowing stuff. There was no Halo before Halo 1.
That makes sense.
There were
yeah.
no books, there was nothing. Everything spawned from this game.
Well, because you're an expert, I just
Not-
thought maybe you'd have extra info.
Not an expert at all. A lot of questions about the Flood aren't even ever answered in the series. They leave a lot of things purposely open. Like, didn't you remember the Monitor was talking... Well, Guilty Spark was talking about how he thought that there could even be more Flood out there.
Like
Remember
in the
that?
rest of the universe?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he said basically he doesn't know if this is even all of the Flood, if the Forerunners actually contained the Flood after the war, or if there's more of them out there and they're just out in a part of space they haven't reached yet. They have no idea.
Hypothetically, who do you think would win, the Borg or the Flood?
I think the Borg, just because they have such insane technology.
Do you think they could just annihilate the Flood?
Annihilate, no, but I think that the Flood is too clumsy, which you'll see. Like, with ships and stuff, they can fly ships, but they're not as... From everything I've seen, they're not as talented at that as sentient beings, whereas the Borg have access to technology and they are able to become masters of it by just basically assimilating someone from that race.
Yeah,
You know?
that's true.
The Borg are actually a good example, though, of what I wanted to talk about, which was really unique and weird parallels to zombie-type enemies. Because the Borg kind of are, in a weird way, almost like a cybernetic zombie.
Yeah,
You
but
know?
instead of, like, not having your own consciousness anymore, like, you're kind of still in there, and you can kind of see what's going on, but you can't do anything about it, which is even more fucked up.
Yeah, it's like being trapped in your body. But then
Yeah.
some people, you find out, too, with the Borg, there's a lot of people who are assimilated as children. They don't really even have that. It's just their entire identity is Borg.
Wow.
You know what I mean? They don't even have, like, an outside identity beyond that, because they were never a fully realized person before.
Why would they bother assimilating a child anyway? The child doesn't have as much knowledge as an adult would.
Because the child will grow, and I believe that Borg can still die from
like
eventual aging. Yeah, because their organic components can still fail.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, that's all Star Trek stuff. I'd love to play a Star Trek game on this channel.
I would like that too. I love Star
That'd be
Trek. I think that the Flood could win if you gave them a handicap by putting them on the Borg's ship before the Borg knew they were there.
That's true. Maybe. That's true. Which is a playbook that the Borg also use on people.
Yeah. Well.
Sneaking on their ship without them knowing.
Yes, well.
And doing shit to them.
Yes.
The Borg are very rapey, actually.
That
Have
sounds
you noticed
pretty
that?
rapey. I mean, they basically, kind of raped that one character in The Next Generation.
Well, kind of, yeah, mind rape.
Yeah, they kind of mind raped him.
Yeah, they're a very fucked up villain. They're very interesting. I think, though, that an underrated, and that is one, but I really do think an underrated type of zombie is those clickers from Last of Us, which I know that you are very over The Last of Us because of the stuff we talked about in the previous part.
The security doors have sealed automatically. I will go access the override to open them.
These parts where he does this, we just have to live.
Oh, okay.
I know that
I like how he went, la 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 la.
I know you're very over The Last of Us because of everything that they did for their choices, and I get that. But I still think if you brought in...
This portal is the freshest air.
Oh, great. I still think if you brought in a writer and a director that wasn't Neil Druckmann, who wasn't like, all of your favorite characters must die.
Brought such ineffective weapons to combat the Flood, despite the containment protocols.
Yeah.
And then what if you decanonize The Last of Us 2 and have
That'd be
somebody
great.
rewrite a sequel? Like a new one.
That'd be great. I think what's funny is the beginning of The Last of Us 2, without getting too far into it, could have easily been reworked to the end of Last of Us 3 and been way more powerful.
You think
With
so?
character deaths and things happening. Yeah, because nobody expects everybody to live forever in a zombie apocalypse story.
Yeah, but people
Must not assume this installation. They consume all.
just didn't want the one main character to die at the beginning of the next game without any indication that he would.
Right. So this is the other problem, and one reason why people hate this level. These exploding dudes, I always forget the name of them, they will go off like a grenade.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they'll go off like a grenade and completely knock you out of the level. Like, you'll just go flying and be dead.
My goodness.
So there's a lot to worry about in this level, the library.
And you have to do this 10 more times?
I don't really remember if it's 10, but it would have been 9 more times if that's the case.
My goodness.
Because we did 1.
Oh, alright.
We'll make our way through it. You know, though, another thing, too, is I think that there are some zombie stories that, for me, are too bleak. Like, for example, and this is a problem I do have a little bit with The Walking Dead. However, they actually keep characters alive, and that's something I like with what they do with the Flood. It's not like right away in Halo, the Flood show up and Master Chief gets, like, butt raped and then killed and turned into a Flood, and everyone cries for 3 episodes of a show. You know, or anything like that. It's just, whoa, this is really scary, and yes, people did die, but you're still this really powerful Spartan. I don't know where he... Okay. Where'd he go?
He said to stay close.
I tried. Let's just do this, because I want to hear what he has to say, actually, don't you?
Me too.
I'm trying to hear what he has to say, but I can't help if the Flood starts shooting.
They consume all. You can see how the body's been transformed by the genetic restructuring of the Flood. The small creatures carry spores that pass on poisons. They produce spores that can pass the Flood to others. It is insidious and elegant.
I can't avoid them enough to hear him, so I'm going to have to just pick them off.
Yeah, I think we're just going to have to kill him.
Before I go anywhere. Do you feel that way, though, too? Like, certain zombie stories, like, at least the Walking Dead, you have people like Clementine, who make it through, like, basically all the games, right?
Yeah.
Or you have people, mild spoiler in case you literally haven't seen the posters for the newest Walking Dead shows where they spoil this. You also have people like Negan, who have a role throughout the entire series, or Maggie, or Rick, or Daryl. You know, and so, like, I think you're able to connect with those characters. Same with Supernatural. It's like, yeah, if there's a side character introduced in season 1 through 5, you can probably bet your ass they're probably dead at some point, because that's just what happens. Like, people die in these shows. But you know Sam and Dean are in all the seasons. So you're able to still connect with people. I think my problem with The Last of Us is, and certain other things...
As a pause, just for a sec, I think The Walking Dead learned their lesson from that without, like... I think they realized they shouldn't just kill off main characters super quickly when in season 1 everybody's favorite guy died and people were so pissed they stopped watching the show.
Okay, so I'm getting the two names mixed up then, sorry. Of two characters that were very popular.
Yes.
Because this happened again, I think, in season 4 or 5. It was one of the most viewed episodes on their show, but they lost the most viewership after it.
Yeah.
Because people said it was too brutal.
Yeah.
And it involved one human murdering another human.
Yeah.
On screen.
Yeah.
And it was pretty... They cut away from a lot of it, but it was very similar to the situation at the beginning of The Last of Us 2, where it was a character people loved, and all of a sudden that character's gone, and you watch them get brutally molested with a blunt object, basically.
Some of the stuff that happened with that one guy's son was also kind of gross, too.
Yeah, there's a lot of gross shit.
But that guy's actor actually left the show willingly, because he was, like, you know, probably a teenager to young adult at the time when he left, and he was like, yeah, I want to pursue different acting careers than just The Walking Dead my whole life. So then they had to figure out a way to, like, do something with his character so he could just leave.
You know what that reminds me of a little bit is the guy who played, I think his name was Jake, in, what was the 2.5 Men? Did you know the kid in 2.5 Men?
Yes, yeah.
He left because he wanted to do other stuff. I believe near the end of the show, I think he was kind of over it. I think he left it. He stuck around till the very end. But either way, he never wanted to come back to the role. And a lot of people have shit on him. And I guess he became a religious Christian since then. And he says, yeah, I'm not really a fan of all the overly sexual themes of the show that I did when I was younger and stuff. And a lot of people hate on him for it. But it's like, well...
That's his choice, though.
I mean, if you changed, that's one thing. It'd be different if you, like, became, like, a hardcore against tons of premarital sex Christian and then you took the paycheck to make the show and then you bitched about it the whole time.
Yeah.
But yeah, that happens a lot. People leave shows and they have to figure out what to do. But that's different to me than murdering your best characters because you're a petty bitch. Which, my thing is, like, I think Neil Druckmann is actually the definition of a messy bitch game developer. I don't think he's like a totally untalented hack or anything. I'll tell you after I hear... okay. My thing with him, though, is he seems to revel in pissing people off. He reminds me a lot of Rian Johnson from Star Wars, which, you know, he also did Knives Out and stuff like that. But Rian Johnson's whole thing was always, oh, I'm going to subvert your expectations. That makes the story good. And it's like, I love
it actually doesn't. You know, shock value can be interesting at times, but that doesn't automatically make your story good.
No, I love what Nate said about that. It's such a Nateism thing, too.
Nateism.
But it's true. He said, actually, I want my expectations met. I don't want them to be subverted just for the reason that you think that makes it good. I go in with expectations of quality, and if you don't meet those, I'm not going to enjoy your thing.
Yeah, and he's probably not going to continue watching.
Nope.
I think there's a lot of Nates in this world who are like that.